Which GOP candidate most likely to get the economy moving? Herman Cain. 33% of Republicans say Herman Cain above Governor Romney and above Governor Perry. If you're Mitt Romney, that's the first big flashing warning sign, isn't it?
No, the flashing sign, warning sign for Mitt Romney is that he hasn't gotten above 23% despite being in this race for 5 years, despite living in New Hampshire, despite being the best debater, despite raising all the money, despite consolidating the establishment. He just can't get above that mark. Herman Cain and Perry, whom I do not write off yet, we still have 75% of the electorate that's not going for Mitt Romney. If he gets it, they'll be wildly enthusiastic about it. But the warning sign was way back when for Mitt Romney.
But you know, John, there is a survey out that has just Rick Perry versus Mitt Romney, and Romney gets 54% in that one to Perry's 39%. So Republicans are willing to go there. But I think we're so concerned about, A, the economy, and B, about losing to Obama, that we're looking for a candidate who's equal to our fears. And that's Superman, and he doesn't really exist.
So we're going to learn a lot about Herman Cain. He's risen to the top of the polls. Now people are going to see whether he can take it and whether he's a president. You heard Governor Romney in the beginning questioning his experience. Ron Paul says he's going to go after him on the 999 plan, saying instituting a sales tax would be devastatingly bad for the country. Ron Paul also says this: don't believe Herman Cain when he says he's an outsider. He says he was part of the Dole Kemp campaign, part of the Forbes campaign, ran for Senate, ran for president before, and this is where Ron Paul goes off the reservation. He was a member of the Federal Reserve Board out in Kansas City.
Not bad.
Listen to Congressman Paul here saying he's no outsider.
They haven't invited me to become part of the Federal Reserve System, so
no, I don't think
he's
so.
part of that banking establishment, and no wonder, because he defended the bailouts and TARP funds and all this, so he's part of that system.
So everybody's fighting for their niche. Ron Paul saying this guy's not an outsider. Smart strategy, right?
Oh, absolutely. Ron Paul is very much against the Federal Reserve, and we all know that, and that's going to be a very, very hot subject for his followers. So if Herman Cain is one of the outsiders, as he says, then obviously he's going to lose a lot of votes with his constituents.
Well, if you were advising Herman Cain, and you're in that green room tonight, and he's getting ready to head out on that stage, and you've been there for candidates in the past, what's the last word of advice you would give him?
Really, in this time, and given that it's his strength, be authentic. Continue to be a happy warrior. Just get serious. He's entered the field in an advantageous position. Not when you enter at front runner, it's very hard. When you get up to the front runner, he's had time to flesh these things out. If you saw his interview earlier with Wolf today, he wanted 3 questions deep, I'm sure, and he seems to be a fast learner in this political business. So he needs to do more of what he did on Wolf and flesh out 999 and flesh out all the rest of his positions.
Right. Now that likable, happy warrior. If you look at our polling out today, people say he is by far the most likable Republican. Why does that matter in picking a president?
You know, we put this on surveys years ago. Which campaign's having the most fun? And what we learned was it's the one that's winning. Why? Because having a good time out there tells people you have confidence, you have strength, and you're optimistic. It's a mark of leadership. He has to keep being Herman Cain, but he's also got to take his game to a more serious level now. You know, you can't just talk about electrified fences.
Luckily, we have 3 people here with hearty voices. You know, democracy is a wonderful thing, and we've got some loud people around us demonstrating a little bit. That's okay. That's their right. We're happy to have them out here as we move forward to our debate tonight. As you can see, that's the left of American politics here talking tonight. Service employees, unions, and others here. It's a Republican debate, but there you see the left protesting. Let's move on to the Governor Perry. Governor Perry on the Neil Boortz radio show this morning says, I'm going to look into the camera and I'm going to talk to the American people about jobs tonight. But if you want the specifics, you're going to have to wait another 8, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. Can he wait that long? A guy who got in late has had, forgive me, a couple of miserable debate performances. When you talk to grassroots Republicans here in your state, are they nervous about him?
They are a little bit nervous, and, you know, quite honestly, I think it'd be better if we did wait for the 8 days so that we had a perfect plan. I don't know if there's such thing as a perfect plan, but I'd be more willing to wait for that extra 8 days to make sure that it's strategically correct and ready to move forward. However, we're ready now. We're ready as of yesterday. Las Vegas and Nevada is hurting. We're at the bottom of almost every list. and it's going to be jobs, 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 and the economy for us. So he needs to make sure that comes out.
Given that, how important this state could be in the nominating process, how critical this state could be, even though it's a small state, in a close presidential election, Nevada, New Mexico, these could be the swing states out here in the West. Given that, can Governor Perry really go on the debate stage tonight after so many mediocre performances and say, well, here's a rough outline, but hang with me, wait a little bit?
You know what? In the old days, if you had a defining moment in a debate, it was great. Now the debates are the defining moments. That's a completely different world. And we're looking at these polls, we're taking a number of Republicans who are watching them. A sizable number of Republicans aren't even watching the debates. What Republicans are doing, where it counts, not in the polls, and the debates are important, but on the ground, in Iowa, in South Carolina, Governor Sandoval is for Rick Perry here. Even in New Hampshire, former GOP chairman, so he's doing the building blocks on the ground where it counts. I know it's boring, it's not sexy, but it is where people turn out to vote.
Is Herman Cain proving that it might not matter this time? We always say in politics, you know, you have a Ross Perot movement. Herman Cain's very much like Ross Perot. Send me to Washington, I'll drive everybody crazy. And some people seem to like that. He's got a little bit of Tea Party. Every time we wonder how much is the internet changing our politics. When will all the old rules, and we've all lived by them, so God forbid we won't know what to do, but we all wonder, when will all the old rules mean nothing?
When? Right now. Ask Muammar Gaddafi, who said, by the way, there's no organized opposition.
Muammar Gaddafi is not at the debate tonight, I can assure you. We don't know where he is, but he's not here.
He's having a bad re-election year. But point of it is, even Barack Obama last cycle went into states like North Carolina and found ready-made organizations, people who self-organize, because the structure is there now. So Herman Cain gets more time than you would think now in today's world to organize. And he can do it backwards. You don't have to do boots on the ground first. You can do media presence, name ID, and then do your organizational stuff. But I don't think, John, that I'm not ready yet.